Hey there, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it is your first time here. My name is Erin and I make videos mostly about sewing, but I also talk some about knitting, cross-stitch, books as applicable. This is a monthly makes video. It's my October 2025 makes, so I will be talking about everything I sewed, which this month was just garments, but that includes a Halloween costume, and catching up on some knitting and a book. I'm just going to talk about one and then a tad bit about life. So if that is interesting, then keep watching. And if you like this content, hit the subscribe button before you leave. Let's get right into it. The first couple of makes I'm going to talk about, I will just be mentioning really quickly because they have their own dedicated videos. First up are the Love Notions Clearwater shorts and the Made for Mermaids Emmy sports bra. I made a video about 4 new pieces of clothing I made, and those were 2 of them. It's an activewear set that I wear under a really cozy French terry set. I've been getting a ton of use out of all 4 of those items, and I will have that video linked for you to watch. Then the True Bias Shelby romper I made for my husband's deployment homecoming. That was the video 2 weeks ago, so I will link that if you have not seen it. I didn't ever explicitly state it on the channel, just kind of out of precaution, extra safety, to not advertise that I was alone with my toddler for 6 months, 6.5, but he is home. It's been a long year for our family, and so it's just really nice to have him back. And he's actually been off of work for 2 weeks, which is really nice. And it's going to be a bummer when he has to go back next week and actually do his job again, but we'll still get to have him for the evenings and the weekends, which is so much better than not having him all of the time. 6.5 months of solo parenting and just not having my best friend to hang out with was kind of a bummer, but now he's here. Thank you so much to everyone for your well wishes and your congratulations on him coming home. It means a lot. I am actually going to sit down and chat with you guys and respond to comments while this footage uploads, because I've just been unplugged and hanging out with my family, obviously. So I'm excited to actually get to talk to you guys and respond to comments. I will be working on that this evening, which is so nice. Anyway, so I made a whole video about making a whole review about that romper. Now we're gonna get into the rest of the stuff. I made the Forget Me Not Iris pleated tee. I made a size 40 short sleeve view with the pleated sleeve. So there is a short sleeve and 3/4 length sleeve. And you can either make them plain or you can have a pleated detail and then a little cuff at the end. So I did the short sleeve pleated in a white cotton spandex jersey from Minerva. It is a great t-shirt weight, really big fan of that fabric. I added a 1/4 inch at the waist notch on the front and the back just to lengthen it a little bit based on the measurements and what they draft for. And I'm really pleased with the length on me. All of my measurements, including my height, are listed down below. It is a perfect elevated basic. I really want to make the 3/4 length version also in some basic colors. I probably won't make as many as I have going on in my head, but I definitely want some more in both the short sleeve and 3/4 length sleeve. So Forget Me Not Patterns is going out of business, sort of. The storefront will remain open, so you can still buy patterns, but the creator is just not planning on releasing anymore. I will link the blog post from her down below if you're interested. Like I said, I made a size 40 and it fits me beautifully. It has negative ease at the bust and a fitted silhouette, but it is not fitted throughout. I think it's incredibly flattering. It is a great shape. It comes in just a little bit at the waist. It helps that I fit really well into their size chart for the size 40, but yeah, it's just a really, really flattering basic t-shirt shape. Another fun thing about Forget Me Not Patterns is if you look at the sizing tab, on the pattern listing website, if you look at the sizing tab, there's a lot of info about the fabric that they used for each sample. So it'll say the green one is this blend of fabric and stuff like that. So it's really good to look at that in this time of not really being able to feel a lot of fabric in person. It's nice to be able to look at that and get an idea of how different fabric compositions and bases will look in that pattern. So I just wanted to mention that because I thought it was very cool. The instructions were really good. It's a basic t-shirt, so not that much should be complicated about it. However, I do think the pleating on the sleeve had the potential to be complicated if not well explained and illustrated, and it was very well explained, very well illustrated. I had no questions. I have 3 more adult makes, and then I have quite a few toddler ones. 3 more adult makes. I made a Closet Core Cielo and a white double gauze, also from Minerva. I made a View A, which is the just regular shirt with like a cuff, not the big voluminous gathered sleeves. The only modification I did was I did a 1-inch single fold hem to save on the bulk. I chose to do the bias bound neckline instead of the facing, again, to save on the bulk. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I prefer a facing, and I do think I stay stitched, but I think I accidentally stretched the neckline some when I was working with it, probably when I was stay stitching it, because it is wider than my other Cielo. It's not crazy, and I don't think it looks terrible by any means, but it is definitely a bigger neckline than I think it's supposed to be. But it worked out. It's fine. It's another good basic white top, and that's really what I was looking for. All of my white t-shirts are pretty ratty at this point. They have been for many months, so I'm getting around to replacing them now, which is nice. I also made the Pattern Emporium Urban Pants in a black ponte that I believe I got from a Fabric Mart mystery bundle, so it was like $2 a yard. These are a wearable toile that I will probably not actually wear that much, because I am a stay-at-home parent to a toddler and I really don't need black ponte pants in my life a lot, but I had the fabric and I wanted to try them out because I have some white ponte that I think would be really fun and versatile in my wardrobe. Not right now. I obviously meant to make these a long time ago, and now it is basically winter and I'm making them. So I probably won't be making them again, at least not in ponte anytime soon. I might make them in jersey, actually, for the winter. Try to find some like nice jersey or French terry. Could be really good. Anyway, they are knit pants. I made a size 16 with a tapered leg, high waist, and I did add the pockets. I did the tapered leg because of fabric limitations. I also had to cut the waistband in 2 pieces because of fabric limitations. I think if I had made a wide leg, they would be more versatile in my wardrobe. Because honestly, these are just like really smart looking pants. Like they are businessy looking pants. So if you need that in your wardrobe, tapered leg, black ponte, go for it. They look fabulous, but are very comfortable. I made a size 16, like I said. I do think that sizing down to a size 14 would be better. They're a little loose. I haven't worn them in the wild. I just kind of wore them for a little bit after I made them around the house. And I definitely think going down a size is the right move for me. So maybe consider that if you are making them. That is it. They were incredibly simple to sew. My only complaint is that the instructions have the basics. They have like, this is how you sew your legs together. This is how you put them together and attach the waistband. Done. Everything else, including things that they provide pattern pieces for, is listed as a hack. Which like maybe that's just how they prefer to organize their instructions, but I didn't feel like it was that way. I made the Take the Chance shirt dress, and I've made the Sea Change romper and jumpsuit, which had a lot of options, and I don't remember that being a thing. Maybe I'm wrong, but just the fact that everything else was a hack. Like they gave, let me just be specific. They give you the pocket pattern piece. They give you specific instructions for how to do it. To me, that's not a hack. If you're giving me the pattern piece and the instructions, put it in the instructions, not like where I have to scroll. Oh, it's a hack? Like to me, it's not a hack. I don't know. If you're giving me everything for it, it's not a hack, in my opinion. I only say that because I got like to a point in assembling the pant legs and I was like, when do the pockets go in? Because they need to go in like now. And it turns out I was correct. They actually were supposed to go in at the beginning or something, but I was still at a fine point to put them in. And thankfully I have sewn enough pants to recognize that fact. So it was fine, but it was just kind of annoying. And then finally, I made the So Liberated Chanterelle shorts. I used Tidal Blue Luxor Linen Slub from Serge Fabrics. Made a size 16, no modifications, and you guys, I get the hype. I totally get the hype. These pants are fabulous. They fit me really well with no modifications, and I always have issues with stuff riding up my bum just because of the size and shape of my bum. So to not have to make any modifications to the back crotch is like, I could have like maybe 1/4 of an inch of extra space, but like I don't need it. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not constantly having to tug the shorts out of my bum. So that is so nice. The pockets are really cute. They give you templates for both the front and back pockets, which is nice just to make them be very consistent. Right. Very, very happy with them. I wore them a couple days ago all day and had no problems, no issues, super comfortable. Okay, then I have some toddler makes. They're all fun, so I want to show them all or talk about them all. I made a circle skirt for 50s Day at my daughter's school. I had kind of forgotten about this. I knew about it and forgot about it and knew about it and forgot about it until the night before when I saw the reminder. So thankfully I can sew. So I didn't have to worry about where I was going to get my daughter a 50s outfit. I found some fabric that she liked. It's this like rainbow glittery sparkle stuff that I got from my mom's stash. And I whipped her up a circle skirt. Thankfully, she's itty bitty, so I was able to get the circle skirt from the width of fabric without having to piece anything together. I did a rolled hem on the bottom, so I didn't have to hem it for real, and I attached it to some elastic, and it was perfect. So that was awesome. Love having this skill. Then I made the cutest, very specific dress for her. She had an event at her school called Donuts with Dad, and Adam got back 2 days before it. So I made her this dress so that she could, she was going regardless. I was either going to go or he was going to be back to go with her. And I wanted it to be really special, both in case he got back and in case he wasn't back. I wanted her to have a special dress for it. So I found this unicorn donut custom fit print from Carriage House Printery. I got it printed on their, I believe it's called Oregon jersey. It's described as being their like classic t-shirt jersey. And I made the Little Lizard King Dublin. And it is incredible. It is the cutest little dress. The bodice is lined, which is really nice. It's a little fiddly to sew, but if you pin everything well and take your time, it is not a problem. And it was just so much fun to make, so much fun to show her, so much fun for her to wear. It was awesome. She has continued to wear it because what young child does not love unicorns and donuts? The Elsa costume. So if you are new here or just don't remember, I started making this costume probably in like June because it was supposed to be a birthday dress and my daughter's birthday is in July. But I hit some roadblocks. The fabric I was using for a good chunk of it was trash, straight garbage. So I got really discouraged and really frustrated and just put it on pause. Coming into like September, I knew I was going to have to pick it back up if she still wanted to be Elsa. However, the Frozen obsession has ended, which I'm not at all upset about. I'm quite happy that the Frozen obsession is over, but I didn't know if she would still want to be Elsa. And she didn't. She wanted to be Moana, which kind of bummed me out because I was not going to make a Moana costume. I just didn't have enough time, the ability to order all the fabric, blah, blah, blah. So she brought it up. I told her like, I have half an Elsa costume made. Let's table it for a little bit. Then she decided she wanted to be a witch, to which I said, yes, will do, can do, sold. And then she wanted to be a skeleton. And I was like, just going to buy that costume. And then the opportunity or this event showed up. That's not till December, but it's a Frozen tea party. Elsa and Anna are supposed to be there. And my friend and I decided to get tickets for our families. And I decided to just bite the bullet and finish this dress because even if she didn't want to wear it to Halloween, she could wear it for that tea party. And then maybe if it still fits her when we go to Disney next year, like I would just have it done and it would be out of my sewing room. I had also ordered some different fabrics in the meantime. Well, just one different fabric to make everything work. So I buckled down, I did it, and I showed it to her before it even had sleeves set in. Literally all I had was the bodice and the skirt, and she decided she wanted to be Elsa. So that worked, and I finished it up for her. We had a trunk or treat the week before Halloween, and I didn't have time to finish the cape because the cape fabric was what was like really causing the issues. So I just didn't do the cape that was supposed to be attached to it. But then it was kind of boring. And I was like, the cape really does make it. So you could not pay me enough money to rip out the sleeves, attach the cape and put it back in. Plus I was worried about the cape fabric being itchy. So I decided to just do a detachable cape so that she could take it off for school, or if she just wants to wear it for dress up and not have to fuddle with the cape, because the cape also has a ton of glitter. Anyway, I'm just rambling. Let me show you. This is it. This is post-Halloween, so it's been around the block a couple times. And there are definitely things that I need to fix on it before our little frozen tea party, but this is how it turned out. So this is the fabric I had to replace, and this is now glitter tulle. It was a crystal organza. I did troubleshoot and try a lot of the ideas you guys gave me. Thank you so much for all of the ideas. I really appreciate it. I tried to make this work. I ended up going with the idea that many of you suggested, which was just throw this away and buy a different fabric. But I tried to make it work. I tried to do a rolled hem because sewing it together was kind of the big issue, but it literally just shredded it. Like, it would just pull away the fabric, and then I ended up with all of that. So then I had purchased this baby blue chiffon to be the yoke, because this crystal organza was supposed to be the yoke and the cape. It was not going to happen. So I bought the chiffon, and I was able to sew the crystal organza to the chiffon using a rolled hem, but I did not have enough of the chiffon left to cut the whole cape. So then that couldn't be an option. And I decided to just throw this in the trash, which I have zero regrets about. So for trunk or treat, I finished the bodice. Like I said, you could, pure stress setting in these sleeves. Could not pay me enough to do it again. This bias tape turned out a little wonky. It looks better on her. And then on the back, I don't know why I'm pointing out the flaws. Like, on her body, no one cared and no one noticed. Like, this ended up not very evenly matched. All I want to say is that people who regularly do like formal wear or cosplay and stuff like that, hats off to you. Because this whole part, the yoke and the sleeves, pure stress. Like, I was sweating so hard. I don't think I was breathing while I was sewing. It was not good. And I mean, the result is fine. I think it came out fine. The hemming could be better. This could be better, but whatever. It was my first time working with chiffon, so I'm not mad about it. Also, why does the arm side have to be so small? I know she's a small human, but like, so small. It's like my hands are too big. I'm a giant doing this right now. Part of the reason that the zipper is so not lined up is because I did do a good job of lining up the trims. So I decided to prioritize that. And then here is the detachable cape, which I did add later. This is a glitter tulle that I ended up going and buying. And then I added the rhinestones, and then I used the snowflake template, the biggest size. There's supposed to be 3 size snowflakes. I used the biggest size to cut some tissue lame in silver, and then also in this blue color that I think is so pretty and so subtle on the skirt of the dress. I did them all the way around. I have to fix some of them. The heat bond is like 10 plus years old, so I'm not shocked that it struggled. But I think that's so pretty. That, I'm so happy with how it turned out. I'm really happy with how the cape turned out. How I made it detachable was I put these clear beads. I hand sewed them onto a couple spots. I put this knit fabric that I used for the bodice here. I just made bias tape basically and bound the top, and then hand sewed some small elastic loops. I thought about thread loops, but I was worried about them like giving enough if she accidentally stepped on the cape or something. I thought it might tear things, and I didn't want that to happen. So I just thought elastic would be a little better, and I went with that. She loved it. She got compliments. I dressed up as Anna. I did not make my costume because she told me the week before Halloween that she wanted me to be Anna, and while I do have an adult Anna costume, my husband told me I wasn't allowed to make it. Sort of. He said I could do whatever I want, but when it got really stressful, he didn't want to hear me whine about it. He said it in a very kind way, I promise. And he made a good point. So I decided to just order one. I was Anna. It was great. I really only cared about making her costume, and I love how hers turned out. So I'll fix up just a couple of things that fell off of it or have come off of it on Halloween, and then it'll be ready to go for our tea party in December. The pattern I used is Simplicity 1, 2, 3, 3. Obviously, having the cape be detachable is a modification I made, but I used the pattern pieces from the Simplicity pattern to get the shape. Sewing the tulle was fine. I was very happy to sew the tulle, especially after doing the chiffon. The tulle was like a breeze. Teflon foot, narrow zigzag, easy peasy. So that's it. I have not talked about my murder mystery quilt because I did not work on it at all in October. I am currently catching up. So in November, I will have a good update on that. And I have been knitting a lot on my stripe pipe. So this is a little bit of a cheatsy because I've worked on it. It's November 6th. I've worked on it the last 6 days. So this is more progress than I had at the end of October. Forgive me. I'm not trying to cheat the system. I have one sleeve almost done. I have it on pause right now because I need to do one more stripe of the cream, and then my local needlework shop, or local yarn shop, they have kind of everything. They have cross stitch and knitting, crochet stuff, fiber arts. Anyway, they're ordering me the needles I need for this cuff. But I was gonna have to start a new ball of the cream color. So I decided to just start it on the collar and get this done, and then use the rest of this to finish the last stripe and the ribbing on the sleeve. I don't know, it made sense to me. I have plenty of this. It's not like I need to manage it really closely, but that just made me feel better. So let me see if I can sort of show you the whole thing with all these needles in it. I don't know if that's the front or the back. Okay, so the whole body's done. This took approximately forever. This is 4 inches of twisted rib, and that is 3.5 inches too many. 3.5 inches more than I wanted to do, I guess I should say. It felt like it took forever. I love the effect of it. I love how chunky that is, but like, it was so boring. I kind of stalled a little bit there for a bit. And then I officially have all of my colors on it. I love how these colors look together. Could have maybe got a shade lighter on the purple, but I didn't want to go like lilac or lavender. So I'm really happy with how this all turned out. Yeah, all I have left is the sleeve. I'm pretty much almost done with the collar actually. And then the last sleeve and it's done. So by the end of November, this bad boy should be off the needles and blocked. We'll see, we're manifesting it. And then book. Okay, I only want to talk about one book. It was so good. The Elements by John Boyne. He wrote The Heart's Invisible Furies and The Boy in the Striped Pajamas also. I have not read The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, but I read The Heart's Invisible Furies and like it has stuck with me. So I knew this was going to be good. Like, oh my gosh, it was so good. He does a really good job weaving together characters' lives without necessarily making them have like relationships or direct connections all of the time. So it's really fun in that way. I'll give you the little synopsis. In The Elements, acclaimed Irish novelist John Boyne has created an epic saga that weaves together 4 interconnected narratives, each representing a different perspective on crime, the enabler, the accomplice, the perpetrator, and the victim. So each of these people are involved in a crime from that perspective. They are not all the same crime, and their lives overlap either a little bit or a lot, kind of depends on the character and stuff. But yeah, you see how they were involved in a crime from all these different perspectives, and he brings it like really, really full circle, weaves everything together beautifully. There are no like plot holes or loose ends. I didn't feel like it was really emotional, but ended in a really like fulfilling way, kind of like there are sad parts, but a really satisfying ending to it. So highly recommend The Elements. It was originally 4 novellas that were published this year as one book. So good. And I listened to it. I do recommend, if you like audiobooks, listening to it, because like I said, each part is a different character. So you get the different voices. And they're like, it's just good. So highly recommend that. I will have my story graph linked below. That's where I track my reading. So if you're interested in what else I read in October and what I thought of those books, go ahead and click on that and we can be friends over there, which would be so fun. Lastly, life. The big news is obviously that Adam is back from his deployment. So that was wonderful. I said it's been kind of a long, hard year for us. If you are new here, my mom passed away at the end of March, and what I then never talked about was that Adam left 2 weeks later. So I didn't really let myself do much grieving because I had to solo parent a 3-year-old for 6.5 months. So now that he's back and our family's together, it's been really, really nice, but the emotions are happening, which is a good thing and a healthy thing, but also a hard thing. It's all part of life. So ups and downs, I guess. I don't know, mostly ups. I'm just so happy to have him home, and it's so nice to hang out with him. But yeah, now I do have to actually really think about and remember my mom, which is nice in a lot of ways. Anyway, that's kind of it. His parents came for Halloween, so it was cute. I was Anna, obviously. Our little one was Elsa, and then Adam and his parents wore blue, and I got them blinking snowflake necklaces, so they were her snowstorm, which was very fun. It was a nice way to do a group costume without having to get costumes for everyone. So that was a great little hack that I came up with, and I was quite proud of. I've been reflecting a lot on my Make 9 and my goals for this year and what I want to get done before the end of the year. Might make a video specifically devoted to that. I will definitely be making a video about my Make 9 at the end of the year, but I might kind of think of some home stretch goals type stuff. We do have a Black Friday season coming up. So I've been kind of thinking about that and what's going on. I've been making a series on my shorts this year called Do I Like This Pattern or Is It Just on Sale? And that has made me think a lot about why and when I'm adding patterns to my collection, because I do not see a large pattern stash as a problem, at all. To me, they are resources. But it has made me think a little more critically about when I'm buying things and why I'm buying things. Because having a large pattern stash is okay, but having a large pattern stash and forgetting about a lot of the patterns I have is not something I'm okay with. And that is kind of an issue I am tackling by doing that series and stuff. So anyway, Black Friday season is coming up. Make your list. Think about what you want. Think about why you want it. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money, but try to be semi-responsible. I don't know. That's what I'm telling myself. That does it for this video, you guys. I will see you in the next one. Let me know what you made in October, what you got up to, what you think of the Elsa costume. I will accept any and all compliments because I'm just so proud of myself for tackling that thing, and it really turned out great. Despite those flaws I pointed out, whatever. I don't do costuming all the time. I've never worked with chiffon before, or honestly any of these fabrics. And I am just so happy with how it turned out, and she was over the moon. So that's it. Okay, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.